Hello, welcome to True Crime and Tarot. I am Natalie, and today's case is on Karlie Lain Guse. Karlie Lain Guse then was born on May the 13th, 2002. She had dark blonde hair and she had blue eyes. At the time of her disappearance, she was at the height of 5'7", weighing 110 pounds. Carly also has a piercing, which is on the left side of her nostril as well. There is to be, or there was, I should say, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $5,000 reward for information that leads to the location of Carly Guse. Carly Guse, who was the 16-year-old female who was reported missing by her family on the morning of October the 13th, 2018. Carly was seen by her family at their residence in the White Mountain Estates area of Chalfont Valley in Mono County, California. During the pre-dawn hours of October the 13th, 2018, at some time during the early morning hours, Carly left the family residence. While likely wearing grey sweatpants or jeans, there is a white t-shirt and Vans brand shoes that she may also was wearing at the time also. Carly had left her personal belongings behind at her residence, which included her mobile phone. Carly was last seen by some witnesses walking through South, approximately 30 yards east of Highway 6 and 100 yards south of Sierra View Road on the morning of October the 13th. There was also a thorough search of the area, and there was a subsequent investigation that have been um, involved here as well. So it was very unsuccessful at this time in locating Carly. She has not been in contact with any of her family, her friends, or anyone of that nature since she went missing. The Mono County Sheriff's Office and the FBI continue to seek information that will assist in locating Carly Guse. But if anyone has any information on her whereabouts or what happened on that time, then they are to contact the Mono County Sheriff's Department by emailing them at carlygosetips at monosheriffs.org, or they are to call on 760-932-5678. Also, they may also contact Sacramento office on 916-746-5678. Carly's mother, Lindsay Fairley, who took part in a press conference, told that there is not a single day that passes by that she does not recall about her daughter. Carly's father, Zach Guse, and stepmother, Melissa Guse, were also present. Lindsay recalled her memory with Crime Online that she perpetually had a friendly relationship with her daughter Carly, who was very much residing with her father and her stepmother when she was lost. So Lindsay had said that she has physical custody of Carly, but when Lindsay moved her daughter had stayed back at her father's residence in Morrow County to visit the high school where all her friends were at the time. Sheriff Braun stated that the parents have been supportive during the inquiry, which is including the stepmother, Melissa Guse, as well. So Melissa reportedly the last person to see Carly before she disappeared. Fox News reported that the events surrounding her disappearance are very perplexing. So Carly is supposed to have disappeared between the hours of around 5:45 a.m. to around 7:30 a.m. Um, Melissa Guse earlier had mentioned on Crime Online that she had picked up Carly the night earlier in the town, miles apart from the family's rural residence on the outskirts of Bishop. Melissa had told Alone that she picked up Carly at about 8 p.m. Then she had took her home close to the White Mountain Estate Road in Chalfont, which is situated around 14 miles north of Bishop. According to the stepmother, Guse was notably disturbed while going to the home, that she admits that she was very much panicked when she was in the car. Um, and she had this feeling that a car also was going to hit her as well. So she kept exchanging seats then that when she was in the car with her stepmom. And this was many times, like she couldn't sit still. She kept moving from one seat to another throughout the journey to where she was going back home. But once they got home, Karlie had very dilated pupils that they could see, and when she sat down, because the parents had made the stepmom and her father had made some salad for when she came in to sober her up a little bit, because they thought she was had a drink. She had connected to the lettuce and said that is the devil's lettuce. And her father Zach and her stepmother had recollected that her memory in a testimony. Melissa was fine, that she'd finally comforted Karlie and even slept in the same room as her and in the same bed as well that night. Um, all night to make sure that she had remained fine and that she felt safe at this time. Around 5:30 a.m. then the next morning, Melissa had reportedly woke up, and when she had watched Karlie, she was laying right next to her and she was awake at this time. Melissa said that she started to doze off then for a little while when she had woke up at around 7:15 a.m. to roughly 7:30 a.m. to learn that Karlie was missing. Fox News also publishes that the teen stepmother had taped her voice, which sounded very disorientated, um, and Melissa allegedly needed to prove that her stepdaughter was what she sounded like when she was under that shock. However, according to the private investigator Michael Boone, that recording was the last time that Karlie's voice um, was ever listened to before she had disappeared. Both Zach and Melissa allege that they do not have any idea or any clue on the whereabouts of Karlie. And while Lindsay has her suspicions about this story during a arrival on the Dr. Phil show earlier in that year, Lindsay said that the pair remade their timeline and in the addition of the incidents many, many times. Moving with the first day after Karlie's disappearance, Melissa live streamed updates about the ongoing investigation on Facebook, with the video circulating what appeared like a hopeless mother looking for her own stepdaughter. Almost right after this incident, there was an origin of assumption and mockery from the public eye as well. A YouTube post by a woman called Francine Hotdog, age 52, of Davidson from North Carolina, had gone on and said, "One thing that bothers me as a licensed psychotherapist is that the stepmother's eyes shift constantly, which indicates that she is lying." Even Karlie's biological mother mistrusted the statements that Melissa was making about the disappearance of her daughter. On a 2019 episode of Dr. Phil, Karlie's mum had said, "I believe that my daughter had a fatal drug overdose, and I believe that that very early morning Melissa saw her with her eyes open, and I think that is when my daughter had passed." Which to then Michael Boone, who is a private investigator retained by Fairley, said that the sheriff's office did not fulfill proper protocol when interrogating was done of Karlie's disappearance. Boone had said that Karlie's bedding wasn't taken and analysed, no search warrant was served on the cars. A witness had said right after Karlie's disappearance, the Mono County Sheriff's Office published a statement that she was last seen in the early morning hours of Saturday, October the 13th, 2018, in a White Mountain Estates in the Chalfont, walking towards Highway 6. So Karlie was never ever seen. She was never caught sight of, never heard from anyone ever again. So she disappeared without a trace, so to speak. So um, without any evidence, the authorities published a report saying that Karlie Guse was last seen at the White Mountain Estate Road, and it was on the Route 6 here as well in Monroe County, California. And that also Karlie Guse's father, then Zach, had been arrested for domestic violence on the 2nd of the 11th, 2021. He had been charged with a felony count of corporal injury to his spouse. Um, Zachary Guse is now out of jail after posting $50,000 bond on February the 12th, 2021. So this is when I come in, and I wanted to try and tune into the case to see what is what, and I did a tarot reading on this case. So there is four big questions that I asked on this case. Number one then is, what happened to Karlie Lain Guse? Two, who was involved in her disappearance? Three, where is Karlie Guse now? And then four, what is the final outcome to be for Karlie Lain Guse's case? So I had done these tarot cards, and the first question that I said then, which is, what happened to Karlie Lain Guse? First card that came out was the Hermit card. So to me, this is saying Karlie was alone. She was very much withdrawn. She was involved with the wrong crowd, and she felt that no one could understand her at this time. She was trying to search for the light, and she ended up laying low from some people at this time. Reverse Three of Wands then. She felt homesick. There may have been some bad weather on that day or the night when she went missing. She felt that no one had her back. Reverse Ace of Swords. There was a lot of confusion, hostility, arguments, and some insults. Two of Wands. She was thinking whether to stay or go, and she waited for the right time to act. She may have travelled over seas or over some water. Three of Cups. There was a friends get together, socialising, partying, intoxication, and having a good old happy time. Reverse Star. There was overwhelmness, escaping and thinking of only herself. Four of Swords. There was mental stress and a lot of trying to calm and take time out and have some rest. With the Wheel of Fortune then, there was a positive change, feeling like things was eventually going good, going great, going fine. Chariot. She tried to control her emotions. There was a travel and there is a car involved. Someone was hiding something. Also, there is controlling what was happening at that time. King of Swords. There was a male who was stern and had a control freakness about them, and that was very much controlling Karlie, and about the rule side of things, and seeked punishment for it. Reverse Empress. So there was a mother figure who was very immature but overly protective and manipulative, and was very unhappy. Reverse Lovers. There was a breakdown of communication between Karlie's dad and her stepmom. There was possessiveness, controlling, and also bullying involved. Knight of Swords then. So there was a sudden arrival where someone was being very blunt and honest, causing a lot of arguments and a dispute as well. We also had reverse Queen of Wands come out. So there was a female, either Karlie or her stepmom, who was very temperamental, controlling, spiteful, could be nasty, revengeful, a liar, or a troublemaker. And then we had the Magician for the last card of this question. So there was a strong willpower person who was taking action and had a plan. So number two's question was, who was involved in Karlie Guse's disappearance? Who made her disappear? So we had the Ten of Swords. There was mental stress and hitting rock bottom. There was a betrayal to do with a bitter row, aggression, and violence. Emperor. There was a strong male who used his head over his heart, who was controlled by his emotions, and was involved in some business dealings. Page of Cups. Karlie was a very pure soul. She was quiet, she was shy, very vulnerable, gentle, friendly, a positive type of person, and she was very talented also. Four Cups. There was unawareness and depressed and being very tired. Ace of Pentacles. So there was money that was involved in this as well, and it could be involved with a job. A Devil. Okay, so there was violence, dominance, feeling trapped and being controlling, and blaming others and hiding something. Reverse Five of Pentacles. There was worsening of a certain situation involving Karlie's health, and there was paying off a debt that was owed. King of Cups. There was a male who was a family friend that had involvements. He's very secretive, non-judgmental, may have took Karlie overseas. Tower. There was people who turned against Karlie Guse or her dad and her stepmom. There was a sudden unexpected situation that things came down crashing. Queen of Swords. There's a female who is cold-hearted, vindictive, wicked, who seeks privacy, that is very dishonest and cruel. Reverse Queen of Pentacles. So there is a female that is very much money mad, very shallow, self-centered, unfriendly, very wicked, untrustworthy, tedious, and out of control. Then I asked the third question, where is Karlie Guse? Three Swords. Karlie is sad, she is hurt, she's upset, and she is very heartbroken. Five of Swords. Karlie was either murdered or she was involved in a certain crime. There was abuse, aggressiveness, and anti-social behaviour. Reverse Nine Wands. There's extreme paranoia, looking for trouble, and feeling very much isolated. Reverse Nine of Pentacles. There was a cover-up and swindling. The last question, the fourth question. What is the final outcome for the Karlie Lain Guse case? King of Wands. There's a male who is very much respected, who is to be assertive about what happened to Karlie Guse. Queen of Cups. There is a female that is to help in the case and is to be very supportive and is to bring some peace. Justice. So someone is going to be taking full responsibility and full accountability for the actions that they have done, and there is to be justice being served. Reverse Four Wands. So there is some family issues, and someone is to be laid off work, having no success. Hierophant. There is to be an organization or religiousness school, maybe, all that's going to be involved in the end. And Ace of Wands. There is to be a new action or a project or a new beginning coming in. Okay then everyone, so this is the case of the Karlie Lain Guse. This is the research I had got, and I had done the tarot reading to see what would come up for myself, what I thought had actually happened and interpreted. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos.